Okay, hello friends, this is Yusuf here. Welcome to our third part of our Crash Course JavaScript. So this is going to be a short video, I hope, because we are going to cover just two concepts. One is type conversion, another one is reference data type. Okay, so type conversion, there is two, I would say not feature actually. There are two ways the variables get converted. Okay, one through explicit, another through implicit, but let's understand with an example, right? So what I'm going to do here, so I'm going to create a variable called let user is equals to Yusuf. Okay, then let age equals to 33. So assume I want to make a statement, so let text is equals to, I say that user, okay, plus is, okay, then age plus years old. Okay, so if you want to print this, so I'm doing the console log of the text and we see the result here. Yusuf is 33 years old. Okay, but if you notice correctly, right, the user is actually a string but age is actually a number, and here we are just concatenating both string and number together, but we didn't get any errors. So we think, okay, it's a good thing, so somehow the output is what we expected, but in some cases it will not be the case. So say for example, so I have maybe the number 1 is equals to 5 and then number 2 is equals to 6, but this guy is a string, say for example. Okay, now I say console.log sum is, and I just say n1 plus n2. So what do you think will be the result? So if you save this and we get the result is 56. So how does the result 56 comes here? Because when it comes to the implicit conversion, so JavaScript, when it's trying to concatenate two things, it will automatically convert one of the variables data type to the other data type. Okay, so here actually it thinks n2 is a string, so it's converting n1 to the string as well and concatenating it. Okay, but if we don't want this desired result, obviously we don't want, then we have to convert the number n to the number data type, then we have to add, right? So what we can do here, we can wrap everything to a numbers built-in function. Okay, so now you can see the result will be 11, which is correct. So yeah, so this is the implicit type conversion happening by JavaScript, and this is we are doing the explicit type conversion because we want to convert that to make our desired result. So just a quick further thing, so what other types of explicit conversion we can do? We can convert from like one data type to other data type. So mainly we'll do between what yeah, string to number, number string, and then string to boolean and so on. So to show some example, so I'm going to have a variable, maybe say yeah, num is equals to, so here I have a string called 70.123. okay, and then I'm going to have a variable val, so that I'm going to do something, I will explain. Okay, then I'm going to print that val console.log, I'm printing that value, and then I'm printing the type of value and then value dot length. Why? Because I'm going to show you the result of it. So first, in the beginning, let's try to convert to the strings. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to convert this num variable to a string and assigning to val. Okay, so if we save this, we get the result that 70.1.3, that is the value of the val, but think it's whole string. Okay, so that's why the length is 6, okay, including the dot and everything. So that's how it is. So say for example, if you have maybe boolean true, okay, so it's boolean for this variable number, but when we're converting into a string, then automatically it converts to a string with the value true, so that's why the length is 4. Okay, so there is also other way of converting called dot to string. You might find it some way, it will work as is. As you can see, there is no difference, but there is one catch here. So if I don't have a value here, or if I define this, if I declare this as undefined, okay, then it will not work, because we cannot apply the .toString method on undefined. So but in this case also the string constructor will work. Okay, so if we try this, now what happened, the word undefined becomes the value of the val, and then yeah, we are printing it. Okay, so yeah, toString and then the string are the two ways of converting anything to string. Okay, if I want to convert the other way around, so I have a number, let's take the same number, I want to convert it to number, so I need to use the number thing, okay, constructor, and then the value is coming here. So if we save this, basically what we will see here is the output of 70.123, and then yeah, it's a type for number, and yeah, there is no property for length for the number, so that's why it's undefined, right? So there are other things like parseInt, which is also convert into number, but it will make it as an integer, that's why there is no floating points. And if you want to have the floating point, then we can use parseFloat, then it will parse with the floating point. Okay, if you use just number, then it does both the things. So that's with respect to type conversion of explicit and implicit. Okay, now let's go back to the reference data variables. Okay, this is very important and it's very interesting. So say for example, I have an array. Okay, let's go with a small example. Okay, I have a variable x with a value 5. Let's make it a, easier to understand. Okay, then I say next line, let b is equals to a. I'm assigning the value of a to the b. Okay, then I'm console logging the value of b. Okay, and then I say I'm changing the value of b to maybe 10. Okay, then I'm console logging, here I'm seeing like a is equals to the value of a, and then b is equals to value of b. Okay, it looks simple if you save this, right? So we get that at this point in time we are assigning b as a value, that's why the 5 is printing. Okay, and let me make it clear. So b is equals to, yeah, b, that makes sense. Yeah, so b is equal to 5, that's expected because we are assigning the value from a is 5, that's cool. And then after changing the value of b, the b value now become 10, so there is no problem here. Okay, but the same example we are going to apply it to an array now. Okay, so 1 comma 2 comma 3, and then I'm assigning that array to the variable b, and then I'm console logging the variable b, and then I'm going to change the value of p. So basically I'm going to insert one more element to the array, so I'm going to say b dot push value 4, and then I'm just going to display both a and b. Okay, let's save this. So as you can see, and the first thing, it has 3 elements, 1 2 3, that's expected. Okay, because that time the value of a is 1 2 3, the same is there in for b as well. But after we push the number 4 to the b, you can see the value of b is 1 2 3 4, which is expected, but the value of a is also changed to 1 2 3 4. So how does this happen? Because of the reference data type. So as we have learned this before, right, when you declare anything to a constant, you cannot change the value of the constant, but if it is an array, then we can add anything to the array, it will work, but you cannot reassign that different array to the constant. So because of the reference, so when we do an assignment here, so what we are typically doing, we are telling, or we are pointing the memory address or pointer of a to point to the variable b. So that's why when you do something with the b, it's affecting a as well. So if it's not what we want, okay, so what we have to do, so either we need to copy the whole array and then create it for variable b. So which means basically we are creating the whole thing into a different memory location and assigning to b. So how does this work? Yeah, so we can use array dot from, there is a method, and we can pass an array actually. So now if you save this, so as you can see now, after we have pushed the number 4 to the array b, only the b got added with the number 4, the a is still unchanged. Okay, the same thing can also be achieved in a different way, like with this syntax called spread operator, like 3 dot, and then whatever the array you wanted to spread. So here what's basically happening, the value of a, like 1 2 3 whatever, it's getting spread to the new array, and then it's being assigned to B. So this syntax might be looking different as of now, but when we are learning about the intermediate JavaScript and yeah, advanced JavaScript, we'll come to know like this syntax. Okay, so but yeah, so this is what I want to convey here. So the reference data type means when you are assigning a value to another variable, you are just assigning the reference, not the value. So if you change the value of the second variable, it will affect the first variable. So what comes under this? Okay, so basically array we just seen, and any kind of object also has the same property, and then map and functions. So all these things falls under the reference data type category. Okay, so we should be careful when we're dealing with all these things. So I think that's it for this video. It might be a quick video, but yeah, I want to cover this first, and in our next video we are going to learn about array and array methods, and then we'll go further accordingly. Okay, so yeah, so that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye bye.